6.000 años antes de Cristo, de forma accidental, nacía una bebida que cambiaría el rumbo de la historia. Olvier TV, el programa cervecero. Bienvenidos a Olvier TV, el programa para los amantes de la cerveza y para aquellos que a partir de hoy la van a amar. Jabalina cumplió sus primeros 5 años. Allí estuvimos.
Bueno, acá Rulo de Jabalina, estamos en el 5º aniversario, muy contentos acá con la gente de Beer Life. Hoy aniversario con clientes, amigos, proveedores y familia, así que nada, muy contento, agradeciendo un poco estos 5 años que pasaron, con pandemia de por medio, Copa Argentina, World Beer Cup y todo, así que súper contentos. Acá junto con mis socios que no están acá porque no les gusta mucho la cámara, obviamente unos cracks y los uno a quienes aprecio un montón, Quique, Tincho y el Ruso, así que también ellos son parte fundamental de lo que es Jabalina. Yo solamente pongo la cara, así que súper contentos. Y nada, hicimos esto básicamente para agradecer un poco todo estos 5 años y festejar, así que bienvenidos y bienvenidos ahí en Olvier TV, gracias por estar siempre.
Jabalina, el jabalí.
Jabalina es inspiración.
Estamos muy agradecidos de estar acá en el evento de Jabalina en Beer Life. Un saludo de la cervecería Unterturkay.
Lo mismo, muy agradecido.
Saludos, Jabalina, gracias.
¿Qué decir de estos chicos, de estos 4 hermosos de Jabalina? La verdad, no solamente hacen birras increíbles, sino que son 4 personas increíbles y muy distintas, y cómo cada uno se necesita para generar un producto tan noble, tan ganador. La verdad, muy orgulloso de tenerlos como amigos, así que feliz cumpleaños, Jabalina.
Bueno, un saludo muy grande para mis amigos de Jabalina. La verdad que estoy muy contento por todo lo que lograron. Ellos saben, aparte, que el único curso de elaboración de cerveza que di en mi vida se lo di a ellos, y me pone muy feliz que sean lo que hoy son. Salud, Jabalina.
Hola Topi, ¿cómo estás? Acá estamos en el 5º aniversario de Cervecería Jabalina, una de las mejores cervecerías del país, ¿sí? Mejor cervecería argentina del año pasado y también merecedora de un reconocimiento a la World Beer Cup en este presente año. Así que a disfrutar, una plena fiesta.
Feliz cumpleaños, Jabalina.
Felicitaciones, Jabalina, por muchos años más. Salud. BAC, Vini Asesoría Cervecera.
Capacitaciones y análisis sensorial, a la distancia e in situ, diseño y mejora de recetas, estandarización de procesos, maximización de la productividad, mejora y compras estratégicas. Mi nombre es José Vini y creé BAC para ayudarte a mejorar tus birras.
BAC, mejora tu productividad.
Somos cerveceros independientes. Somos emprendedores y pymes. Somos familias y amigos detrás de un único objetivo: la búsqueda constante de la calidad. Somos una fuente directa de muchísimo empleo. Estamos a lo largo y a lo ancho del país. Somos cervecerías independientes.
Molinos BZ, el punto justo de la molienda para la elaboración de cerveza. Fundada en 1845, líder mundial en la industria del lúpulo, calidad, sostenibilidad e innovación de nuevas variedades y productos de lúpulo. Hofsteiner, líder mundial en la industria del lúpulo. Cervezas de barrica Areco, un espacio para degustar o llevarse a su casa increíbles cervezas barrel age y de guarda. En San Antonio de Areco, cervezas de barrica Areco. Birra más arte, Desarmadero Bar, en la esquina de Gorriti y La Valleja. Fermentis, easy to use, fácil de usar. Inoculá directamente o rehidratá con mayor flexibilidad. Fácil, limpio y sustentable. Más información, fermentis.com.
Si no ves el 3 picos, parate en punta de pie.
Lúpulos Andinos, organizadores del Congreso de Lúpulo. Gorila, Cervecería Argentina. La evolución de la involución. En Freising, Alemania, conocimos Weihenstephan. Es la cervecería más antigua del mundo. Nació en el año 1040. Vamos a compartir el informe. Estamos en Weihenstephan. Tenemos el gusto de hablar con el head-brewmaster, Tobias Zollo. Thank you for receiving us and please talk about this beautiful and the most antique in the world.
Yeah, welcome to the world's oldest brewery here in Weihenstephan on the hill. So this is we're here in the heart of the brewery, the brew house. So we do it very traditional Bavarian with decoction. So we have a mesh tun and a mash kettle for the decoctions. Brews of mainly all our brews. We're very well known for our wheat beers, but we also have now a big range of lager beers. So that's why we do it in the same way and want to have a better taste with this decoction system. Our Lottotan is here, over there, and the red kettle, of course. So what is special here in Bavaria, we have, when you can see it here on the wall, so we are brewing according to the Reinheitsgebot. It's the German purity law. These are the 4 ingredients we are allowed to use. Specialists, everything is 100% from Bavaria, so very regional. We have good raw materials here in this region, so that's why we use it, of course. So the barley and the wheat from Bavaria, the hops from the Hallertau, which is starting right behind the brewery in where it's still the world's largest hop area. Water from the city of Freising, and our special yeast stored next door in the Technical University of Munich. So there we have our yeast stored, and then we get fresh cells propagated on our own in the brewery, and then we have always fresh, powerful yeast. In the brew house, so we have 300 hectoliters per brew, and we can do a brew every 3 hours. And we are 3 shifts from Sunday evening to Friday or Saturday, depends on the season. Yeah, we try to. That's why we are very good educated here, because we have the Technical University where you can study. All the brewers around the world are going to Weihenstephan. It's a little bit considered as the Harvard of the brewing schools. So that's why a lot of brewers are educated here, and that's why we also transfer the knowledge. We have the tradition where we come from. We want to keep this tradition, and of course we're the oldest brewery, but with the modernest or newest equipment. Because, of course, hygienic design and food safety is key, and success is based on the quality, and that's why we need the best equipment for that. So we're here in a historical place. This is the old building where the monastery was founded in 725. Saint Corbinian came over from Rome and set up a monastery here, and then they cultivated hops, and later they also brewed beer. So it's 1040 they gave the license to the brewery to sell beer here, so that's why we consider this as the start point of the brewery, more or less, but we think they brewed beer before. What should they do with hops otherwise? This is not, of course, not the original building. It's burned down several times, but it was rebuilt, and this was the old monastery, and the whole building, half of them is a brewery and the other half is Technical University of Munich. So we are not only working very close together, we are even sharing a building together. And you also can see that this is an old brewery, because in former times when you had no electricity, no cooling machines, nothing, then you built a brew house on top of a small hill, and then you used the natural flow down the hill of the Wörth, and you dug a tunnel into the mountain and had all these cellar rooms for the natural cooling, chestnut trees on it. So that's why we still have this place. Of course, now we have electricity and everything else, but we have the old buildings and the old setup, and we're very proud of that. So you also can see here, for example, this is a small chapel, still existing from the monastery, and below the chapel are the cellars of the beer. So the Weihenstephan Helles, for example, is stored right below the chapel. Yeah, the legend is that Saint Corbinian, when he moved over from Rome to Weihenstephan to settle up the monastery here, the legend says he went with a horse, and a bear attacked his horse and killed his horse, and then he tamed the bear and forced him to wear his luggage. And that's why you can find everywhere in Freising, in the city where Weihenstephan is located, you find a bear in different positions, different things. So it's more or less now the iconic animal of the city, because of this legend that Corbinian went over. And here you can see he's looking like a monk, and brings the beer bearers. directly to the mountain, and all the cellars, the rooms left and right, and the cellars, so they are cool for the whole year. And of course, former times they had some wooden barrels inside, and afterwards aluminium, and now we have all stainless steel, of course, for food safety. We still have the old setup with the old mountain cooling for all our beers. This is our storage cellar for all the wheat beers. So we have a 2-tank system for all the beers. So we have a horizontal fermentation and then a vertical maturation and storage for the natural carbonization. So we do a very traditional 2-tank system to force more this special taste of our Weihenstephan wheat beers. And here you can see the maturation cellar for all the wheat beers. Here you can find our filtration area. So this is we have a candle filter where we filter all our lager beers and our crystal wheat beer, of course. So it's a filtration system. This is the filter with a Kieselguhr, or it's also able to filter without Kieselguhr with Kieselguhr alternatives. Then we have buffer tanks, of course, and to bring this system out of the pressure of the brewery, so make it more independent pressure-wise, that the system always runs constantly. We also have inline CO2, O2, gravity and alcohol measurement, and we can carbonate a little bit. So we have the natural carbonization, but to make it to make a little standard inside, so we always have the same quality at the end of the day. We are not blending, so we don't do high gravity. Every beer has its own recipe and its own natural gravity, and it's always a single brew for every product we have.
En el próximo bloque, segunda parte de esta increíble cervecería. Cervecería artesanal Coleman. Un producto artesanal genuino. Coleman. Construyendo cervezas. Metamorfosis. Cervecería de barrio. Parque Patricios. Heller, bar de fábrica, la perfecta combinación entre todos nuestros estilos de cervezas artesanales junto a la mejor gastronomía. Heller, en Mar del Plata.
Cada lugar y cada momento tienen un estilo distinto. Cada espacio se transforma con un sonido. ¿Y vos? ¿Sos capitán de tu vida?
Surprise, motherfucker.
De lunes a lunes, toma la exquisita cerveza artesanal Antares en La Plata, 56, Diagonal y Parador. Choperas Cabo de Frío, la solución en fabricación e instalación de choperas. Frío Beer, chillers y torpedos, micro y macro cervecerías, asesoramiento profesional, instalación, www.friobeer.com.ar. Ámsterdam, Friends Factory, La Plata, el lugar en tu mundo. Sudamericana de Filtrado Sociedad Anónima. Alta calidad, máxima eficiencia y rendimiento. Más de 50 años en la industria del filtrado. Weihenstephan, segunda parte.
Yes, please have a look on this historical picture over there at the wall. It's showing the process of making beer, and it's starting on the left side where the farmers come with the hops and the grains and then produce malt. Then they have the job in the brew house to make the mash, to make the brew, the wort. And then they put the beer into the wooden barrels. And then you see 4 people that drinking beer. 3 of them are drinking. And number 4, he brings the beer back to nature. Please have a look on this and go a little bit deeper inside, then you find out what I'm talking about. Okay, now we're here at the south terrace of Weihenstephan Hill, and in this direction you have a look over Munich, over the airport, in direction to the Alps. But unfortunately today we have some fog and clouds and we cannot see the mountains. And if you have a sunny, nice day, you can see the whole panorama from east to west with all the mountains from Austria, from Germany and also from Switzerland. But unfortunately, not today. So we are now at the most historical place in Weihenstephan. That is a place that was in the 8th century when Bishop Corbinian was here. And his job was the Christianization of the people. And he built up the first monastery there on the hill. And there's a legend that with his staff he opened a well, and the well here on top of the mountain, that's a little bit ununique, but the water is still running out. It's not that much that comes out, but it's an artesian well. And the day, or the year he found it was around 750. And then in the middle of the 9th century, they built up this tunnel with the limestones. And so that is the oldest area, or oldest part of Weihenstephan that we have. That's now more than 1100 years old.
Bueno, estamos sirviendo este birrón tremendo que le falta muy poquitito para estar lista, y todavía, según lo que él explicó, está turbia porque la levadura está dando vuelta. Cheers. Amazing. Increíble cerveceros, cómo conservaron la esencia, la prolijidad, tomarla del tanque. Gracias a Hochsteiner, gracias a Tobias Zollo, gracias por darnos este lujo.